All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we're building your ultimate digital survival kit. We're going to equip you with the essential tools and knowledge you need not just to survive, but to genuinely thrive as an informed operator in today's wild digital landscape. Think about it. Whether you're just clicking save on a quick document or jumping onto a video call across the globe, there is this massive hidden infrastructure working constantly behind the scenes. So this survival kit, we've broken it down into a few interconnected modules. We're talking about your cloud repository, your security barriers, and your high-fidelity communication streams. Basically, what we're doing today is pulling back the curtain on the unseen mechanics of everyday technology. It's going to be eye-opening. But before we get into the really granular details, we need to take a look at the exact network architecture categories we have to master to secure your digital footprint. We're going to focus on three main pillars today. The cloud, where your data actually lives, security, how to fiercely defend that data, and conferencing, the hardware and software linking us all together in global communication. Here's a quick look at your mission briefing outline. We've got 1, navigating the cloud, 2, defending your digital identity, 3, fighting off malware, 4, the tech behind global connections, and finally 5, the digital operator's checklist. We're going to move efficiently through all 5 of these stages, ending with a checklist you can literally apply the second we're done here. Okay, section 1, navigating the cloud. Let's explore exactly where your data goes when you actually hit that save button. Let's just immediately bust a massive myth right now. There is no magical, fluffy cloud in the sky holding your data. No way. The reality? The cloud is really just someone else's computer. When you save your photos or your work files, you're actually storing them on remote servers. We're talking about thousands of incredibly powerful computers sitting in vast physical buildings located all around the globe, totally managed and maintained by dedicated hosting companies. Now, these remote servers are built on 3 main architectures. First up, you've got the public cloud. Think of services like Google Drive or iCloud, where anyone can use it and the provider and the customer are totally different companies. Then you have the private cloud, which is this dedicated environment locked safely behind a company firewall. The company and the storage provider are the exact same entity there. And lastly, we have the hybrid cloud. This is a brilliant mix where a secure bridge allows your highly sensitive data to stay locked down in the private cloud, while the less sensitive stuff operates freely out in the public cloud. Now, I know the cloud feels like pure magic sometimes. It gives you universal access to open files from literally any device, anywhere. It totally eliminates the need to carry around easily lost USB sticks, provides automatic backups so your data survives even if you accidentally drop your laptop in a lake, and it makes collaboration totally seamless. But that magic comes with a cost. You are entirely at the mercy of your internet connection. Storing massive amounts of data, that gets very expensive over time. And most importantly, you are introducing potential security risks, things like data breaches, and a fundamental reliance on a hosting company that could potentially fail. And that brings us right into section 2, defending your digital identity. We need to focus on personal accountability and keeping those accounts safe from the inherent security risks we literally just talked about. So, your first line of defense, it's all about securing your perimeter. To stop malicious programs from literally recording every single key you type, you absolutely must be running anti-spyware software, non-negotiable. Alongside that, your foundational rule is to regularly reset your passwords. Why? To completely invalidate any credentials that might have been quietly stolen in a hidden data breach. Speaking of passwords, look at the contrast between a weak one and a strong one. Something like green 1 is highly vulnerable, super easily guessed, and exactly the kind of thing a hacker is praying you use, just like password 123. But a strong password? Something like C12 @TW90KJ equals 0? I know, it looks like complete gibberish, but actually, that is exactly the point. It strategically mixes capital letters, numbers, and symbols, making it incredibly difficult for an attacker to just brute force their way into your accounts. But here is the harsh reality of the modern digital landscape. Passwords alone, they just aren't enough anymore, which is exactly why we need to understand the authentication matrix. This is essentially an escalation ladder of authentication methods used to definitively prove you are exactly who you say you are. Let's just climb this ladder together, and you'll see how each step builds an increasingly stronger fortress around your identity. Down at the bottom, step 1, we have magnetic stripe cards. Sure, they are easy to use, but they are the least secure because that data is incredibly easy to copy. Step 2 bumps up the security with smart cards, like your contactless debit cards, which contain an embedded chip and antenna, making them much harder to forge. Moving up to step 3, we introduce physical tokens. These are small hardware devices that generate a one-time password that changes every single minute. Step 4 brings the security directly to your smartphone with electronic tokens, apps that generate that temporary password or prompt you to approve a login attempt. And finally, at the absolute peak of the fortress, step 5, we have biometrics. This uses your unique physical features, like your fingerprints or facial recognition, to actually unlock your system. All right, moving on to section 3, fighting off malware. Because look, even with strong passwords and advanced authentication, threats are still going to try to slip through the cracks. Anti-malware or antivirus software is basically your automated digital security guard. It operates through a very strict pipeline to inspect every single file that tries to enter your system. First up in that pipeline is scanning. The engine compares your files against this massive, known database of existing viruses. Step 2 is heuristic checking. Now, this is the smart part of the engine. It actually analyzes files for suspicious behavior to catch brand new, totally unknown viruses that aren't even in the database yet. Pretty cool, right? Finally, step 3 is quarantine. If a threat is found, it is immediately isolated in a secure digital box, so it cannot infect any of your other files, allowing you to go in and delete it safely. You do have to remain vigilant as an operator, however, because sometimes that smart heuristic checker gets it wrong. It might flag a perfectly safe file as a virus simply because it acted a little strangely. We call this a false positive. And honestly, it's exactly why human oversight is still such a crucial part of digital survival. You can't just put it on autopilot. Next up is section 4, the tech behind global connections. Let's deconstruct the magic of electronic conferencing. Whether you're doing a quick audio sync over VoIP, which, by the way, stands for Voice over Internet Protocol, or you're running a massive interactive webinar with live whiteboards and screen sharing, you are tapping into an incredible invisible network. It's this network that allows us to collaborate seamlessly without ever stepping foot in the same room. But a simple video call? Yeah, it isn't actually simple at all. It's an impressive, heavily stacked layer of technology. At the very foundation, you have the hardware layer, your physical webcams, microphones, speakers, and monitors. Sitting right above that is the driver layer, which is this essential translation software that allows your computer to even understand and communicate with that physical hardware. Then you have echo cancellation actively working in the background. This is a lifesaver. It prevents your microphone from picking up sound from your speakers and causing that agonizing, infinite screeching audio loop. And finally, sitting at the very top, we have a specialized software layer. And within that software layer is the true unsung hero of global communication, the codec. Standing for coder decoder, this piece of software aggressively compresses heavy video and audio data so it can travel rapidly across the internet, and then, almost magically, it decompresses it flawlessly upon arrival at the other end. Without the codec, high-speed, real-time video conferencing over a standard internet connection, it would be entirely impossible. This brings us to our final stop, Section 5, the Digital Operator's Checklist. We're consolidating everything we've uncovered into a fast, actionable summary. To operate safely and efficiently out there, you absolutely must hit these 3 major checkpoints. First up, cloud storage. You need to understand your data's physical location on remote servers and carefully balance that amazing convenience against the real security risks. Second, defense protocols. Layer your security. Use complex, gibberish passwords, utilize advanced authentication like tokens or biometrics, and always run heuristic anti-malware. Third, global connections. Combine the proper hardware, drivers, and codecs to communicate seamlessly across the network. So, now that you have the manual to navigate the cloud, effectively defend your digital identity, and connect flawlessly across the global network, there is really only one question left to ask yourself. Take a close look at your own digital habits. Is your system an optimized fortress, or are you just one false click away from a complete breach? The tools are officially in your hands now. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and remember to stay vigilant out there in the network.